But since it had got late by the time we reached the gate, we decided to call it a day.
Finally, after searching for a simple breakfast, now we found a good bakery here. Very nice.
We went in a bakery at 9 in the morning and they said they'll give us fried rice and noodles at 9.
Now we are having croissants, tea, juice, and water. Finally.
Excuse me. And we have 3 more mushroom patties, please. 3, huh?
I think your favorite hero is okay.
So after eating to our heart's content, we decided to step on the paddle and satisfy our hunger to see more. We decided to explore Bhutan's seat of power, the city of Thimphu. Established as capital of Bhutan in 1961, Thimphu has a youthful exuberance that constantly challenges a country's conservatism and proud tradition. It's the only capital in the world without a traffic signal, and perhaps the only one where nobody seems to be in a hurry.
We are right now standing at the immigration office of Bhutan. The permits we got from Phuentsholing were only valid up till Thimphu, and now we have to go east, further east in the country to areas like Punakha, Bumthang, Trongsha, Mongar and Trashigang, from where we're going to exit to Assam. So to go to these areas we need a new permit. We're also waiting for one of our friends, Tashi, who's a local guide in Bhutan. He's going to accompany us today. Here comes Tashi.
Tashi.
Now what he's wearing is Bhutan's national dress Go. Bhutanese women wear a kira.
Hello Tashi.
Hello.
Good morning. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. I first met Tashi a few months back when we were speeding past through Bhutan, and Tashi was very helpful and kind to us. So we called him again to see if he'll help us again this time in Bhutan, and he graciously agreed. Thanks a lot for coming, Tashi.
It's my pleasure.
Now with Tashi as our guiding star, all our queries were now getting answered.
What is the name of this river?
Thimphu. Most of the rivers in Bhutan, like you just give a name of the place or name of the district.
Okay.
And here we call it Thimphu, and this is Thimphu. Thimphu is the region. Chu is the river.
So Tashi, the king must be a very rich man.
In Bhutan, normally like kings are not that much rich. Only thing is that like they have a very simple house.
Okay.
Only we can know that that is a palace because of the like special one where you can see on the temples and so on, the yellow one.
Okay.
That's why like we can say that this is the palace of a king. In Bhutan, after king, like we have peace and prosperity. Like before 1907, like before king, we have internal problems, and like in Bhutan we have a lot of taxes at that time. But after 1907, with the Ugamachu, the king of Bhutan, first king of Bhutan, after that like we have peace and prosperity, and taxes were reduced. And during the time of third king, like he started the first road from India till Thimphu, the capital city, in 1961. And he is the father of modern Bhutan. And after that, like he passed away very young, and his son, like the fourth king, the present king, who is only 56 years old, and he is said to be the youngest king in 1974, where his father passed away very young. And like he has given his power to his son in 2006 internally, and officially his son was crowned as a fifth king in 2008. And democracy also in Bhutan started from 2008, and it's the first time for Bhutan. And where I think it might be the first king who has given his power to his people. Okay. Everybody loves him, and because of king, like we have peace and prosperity in Bhutan. Okay, in 2009, like fifth king started giving the land to the people, poor people who does not have a land.
Our first halt was a large Tibetan-style national memorial shorten built in 1974 to honor the memory of the third king Zingme Dorji Wangchuk. The memorial shorten, with its sun-catching golden finial, is one of the most prominent structures in Thimphu. We stepped inside and we were transformed into a different world altogether. our next stop was a huge Buddha statue watching over the city of Thimphu. Its size was enough to humble us. After a stunning memorial and a gigantic Buddha, Tashi took us to appreciate Detso, the art of paper making.
Here is the paper factory out here, and the plant is called Daphne. There's two types of Daphne, white and black Daphne. And one you can get in the altitude of 1,200 meters, and other one you can get it around 3,000 meters. And they just take only the cover. They just soak it out here for 24 hours. After 24 hours soaking in the water, we'll just take it out and we just put it in the boiling water out here, and we'll just boil for 6 hours. And after 6 hours of boiling the Daphne plant, and after that we'll just put it out here. This it comes at the end.
The sap is then hammered into a pulp and soaked for hours in a solution of water and glue before the actual process of paper making begins.
And this is the final process where they just dry it for 5 minutes. Normally, like in the olden days, it takes a day to dry because you have to dry in the sun. Now, because of the technology, like you can dry a paper within 5 or 10 minutes. But like it's very useful, but it takes a job of a man. Like new technologies which were invented, but they're very useful for the companies, where they can make a lot of papers. And now they just export to Japan, United States, and to the European countries, and in Bhutan also. But in Bhutan, mostly used for the religious texts, which it lasts very long also.
Like other arts, this practice has been gradually developed through centuries and passed through generations.
It must be expensive because of all the handmade effort. Handmade paper must be expensive.
In Bhutan, like most of the things which were done by hand is very expensive, and most of the things it comes from India is cheaper one.
And like every other traditional crafts, it represents hundreds of years of knowledge and expertise, which is even today breathtaking, charming, and shocking. Now this is one of the many weird things that you will come across Bhutan. But for the people of Bhutan, these phalluses are neither pornographic nor erotic symbols. They're supposed to ward off evil spirits. These phalluses are a reference to one of Bhutan's most popular saints, Lama Drupka Kungle, who is credited with having created Bhutan's strange animal, the takin, by sticking head of a goat onto a body of a cow. From Thimphu, our next destination was Punakha. But then...
So we got into serious trouble today. Sanjay was caught drunk driving last night and he's been put behind bars. So I'm sitting with the immigration minister. I'm just joking. We're actually sitting with Neeraj. Neeraj is a budding young entrepreneur in Bhutan, and we just thought that we'll come and have a chat with him. So what do you think of the current economic situation in young people in Bhutan?
As far as the economic situation goes, it's not so good. We depend a lot on import rather than export. So Bhutan is facing a severe shortage of rupees. And because of that, the banks have now stopped issuing loans for any kind of purpose, even for housing or any kind of loans. People of my generation, a lot of people have now started enterprises to become an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Because when we got into jobs, there was a wide gap between us and our immediate senior persons. So because of the gap, age gap and generation gap, it was for us it became quite difficult to get into jobs also.
So Neeraj, we've heard a very interesting concept in Bhutan called gross national happiness. Can you tell us something more about what that is all about?
Gross national happiness, it's actually a concept taken from, if you think about it, it's a concept taken from Buddhism. It's like, to put it in short, it's like, live your life, but while you're living life, don't harm others, basically, as in, let's not make it a dog-eat-dog world kind of thing. So it's,
okay.
So we have 4 main pillars in gross national happiness. One is sustainable development. Any kind of development we do has to be sustainable. One is preservation of our culture and preservation of our environment. So no matter what we do, we have to take care of these 2 factors. And then the last one is good governance. So if there's no good governance, then happiness is not going to be there. And then apart from there, to check for these also, there are about 72 variables where we check the happiness to cross check and balance.
Okay.
So the concept is there, but we're striving for it. It's having a difficult time, but somewhere along in some remote areas, it's much more easier to implement this system in remote areas. So it's more of happening in those areas rather than the urban places.
So after gaining valuable insights and pearls of wisdom, we steered right into the heart of happiness, the central Bhutan.